Yeah, I know. I went around for a walk and it was very peaceful and serene.
It's nice here in the
Yeah,
winter time.
yeah,
Like
campus is gorgeous, yeah. Well, hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Justin Fota.
And I'm Leanne Reese.
And we're both from McMaster's Student Financial Aid and Scholarships Office. And we're here to talk to you today about scholarships. It's something that I think everyone has kind of heard of, but too many people think, oh, that's not for me, or just don't take advantage of it. And with it being Financial Literacy Month this month, November, anything to do with money, so important for students, and these things are something that can really help students pay for school. So I mean, I guess to get started quickly, I mean, for anyone that maybe doesn't know, I mean, very just like simply, what is a scholarship?
A scholarship in many cases is money that you get to help with your educational and living costs, and is based on academic merit, but sometimes it can be based on other things like community service or athletic performance, those kind of things, like we offer in our community contribution awards. So it's great that we're here today. We can give you a little bit of an idea of how to get started with scholarships and awards, right? You take advantage of Financial Literacy Month and kind of be very proactive with your applications.
Yeah, that is kind of the big thing is a lot of people get kind of stumbled on the application itself. So we'll definitely get to that and explaining to people how to actually do the application. So I know there's a ton of different kind of scholarships out there for different people. We kind of cover off all of different student groups. So Leanne, I guess you'd probably be better to speak to this than me, but what are kind of the different types of scholarships that we have available here at MAC?
So at MAC we have two very broad categories. We have our awards that are automatically assessed, and we have awards by application. And most of the ones we're going to probably focus on today are the ones by application, because they do require a little bit of effort and work. And within those categories, we have community contribution awards, like I mentioned, based on community service and athletic or artistic performance. We also have travel and exchange scholarships, which you may be hearing a lot about in this past fall term. Our in-course awards are big. We also have academic grants and awards for part-time students. So there's lots out there and always something for everyone. So.
Yeah, it really hits on all those different groups. So the travel and exchange awards that you mentioned there, it's if you're going on an exchange or on some kind of travel learning opportunity, those awards are specifically for you. The in-course awards, basically, that is kind of the big group, right? Because that basically applies to all faculties and programs, all years. Everyone's kind of under that category, and odds are there's going to be at least one, if not many more than one, that apply to you, kind of thing. And then there's even awards for graduating students as well.
Yes, with our fall convocation coming up, we're encouraging all graduates in the fall and the winter ceremonies to take part and apply for our graduating student awards. We don't give them out until the spring, but it's always worthwhile for everyone to apply.
Yeah, it's a nice little graduation present, I guess,
exactly.
right? Because a lot of people probably don't think that oh, well, I'm not going to be back next year, so there's nothing there for me. But there are quite a few of those awards so if you're in your last year, definitely don't count yourself out of that as well. Yeah. Like it says right here, feel like a grad present. How about $1,000? That would be not bad. So we've kind of touched on a little bit of these already, with people thinking that there's nothing out there for them, or oh, I won't qualify for that. But there are a lot of kind of misconceptions, I think, about scholarships that people have, and I think one of the big ones that we kind of fight against is, oh, well, there's always going to be someone better than me, you have to have perfect grades, that kind of thing. But really, we try and put it out there that that's really not the case, right?
Yeah, last year we really tried to send the message that you don't have to have a 12 to win. And this year we have lowered the grade point average that's required for especially our travel and exchange scholarships. You can apply now with a 7. And so just to encourage students to apply, and that there is, like I mentioned, there is something for everyone.
Yeah.
You just have to look for it, even if it's not right here at McMaster. There's lots of external awards that students should take part in and take advantage of. And it may not have anything to do with school or academics, really. It could be based on your work history or maybe where your parents work.
Yeah.
Even, right? So lots of resources out there in the community as well.
Yeah, and another thing that people kind of, I think, assume a lot is, oh, it takes too much work. I got to write this big, long essay. I got to find a reference letter. I got to do all this. But for one thing, I mean, a lot of the written components of this, these aren't essays that we're talking about. In a lot of cases, these are really just kind of more simple written explanations of why you'd be a good person for that particular award. And I mean, it really. We have made it even easier to apply in some other ways as well, right?
Yes, we have. We're trying to make it easier for students to apply, but also to receive the awards. So while last year there was a higher number of reference letter requirements in the applications, we've reduced a lot of that. Students can receive more than one. They can get 2 awards by application this year, so that's always great too. It's a great financial resource to apply for awards and scholarships. And we've also opened it up. A lot more awards are available for part-time students to apply to, and also international students. So again, you know, all students from all different groups really need to take a look and go into Mosaic and see what's there for them. Yeah,
and that leads perfectly into the next thing I want to talk about, which was the actual process of finding and applying for the scholarships. So the applications don't actually open until January 1st, but you can go in right now into Mosaic and see all the scholarships that are available to you. You can plan out your applications now. So, I mean, I guess quickly, we can probably give a quick guide of how you actually go and find the scholarships in Mosaic.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to go into Mosaic. There's about 3/4 of the way down. There's a link, and it says apply for financial aid. You're going to start by doing your personal profile, and that will give us some indication of how we can maybe match up which award is best for you with some of your different preferences and achievements and future goals. And then when you go to the aid by application tab, we have all of our different awards by application listed there, but it will be a short list, and it's tailored based on what level you're in, what program you're in. So yeah, your list won't be the same as your friend next door, but it will give you you know, it is very time efficient that you just need to go through the short list and look at the criteria and decide from there which ones you'd be most suitable to.
Yeah, and actually another new thing this year, there's a tile right on the homepage of Mosaic that takes you right to that screen that you were talking about where you fill out the personal profile. So it's got a little $sign in it, says apply for aid and awards. I don't know if this is behind the flowers or not, but on this poster here, we'll tweet it out anyway. But there's, so you just click that and it takes you right to that, the spot where you would fill out the personal profile. And a lot of people think that they need to give all kinds of personal information in that initial spot, but really you only need to fill out the first page of that profile. The rest is if you were applying for bursaries or the work program or things like that. And then, under that aid by application tab, you'll see the list. And like you said, Leanne, I think some people get confused because, oh, well, my friend has this, but I don't. And it's probably because, your friend's an engineering student and you're a business student or something like that.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe you've already done the personal profile, because it's the same profile. You only have to do it once per academic year. And it'd be the same for work study or bursaries or whatever. So, maybe you're already finished step 1.
Yeah, that's a great point. That a lot of people are kind of already halfway there. Yeah. And like we said, they open January 1st. So that's when you'll be able to actually click in Mosaic, apply for this award. But right now, you can go in, look through the list, and see what you have to do for that award. So whether you do need to get a reference letter, whether you need a transcript, whether you need to apply or provide a CV or a resume or something like that. So you can plan everything out right now and have them ready, because the deadline date, there is some time to do this. The deadline date is April 30th for most awards. The travel and exchange have a different one. Those ones are March 29th to line up better with kind of the exchange calendar. But it's so important to get on this now and get it done now, because this second term will just get so busy.
It will, and this gives you a lot of time to build on your, build on the criteria. Maybe you do need a reference letter, right? Kind of touch base with your TA or your prof, and all of them, lots of profs are very open to writing reference letters, but it's always a lot easier for them if they actually know a little bit about you, right? So it is a very much of a proactive approach at this point to let you work on the requirements for the application and give it your best shot. So
yeah, and that's
great advice.
Yeah, that's kind of a common question that we get a lot of the times is tips for getting reference letters and what makes a good reference letter.
Like I said, I would touch base with the prof first. If that's who you're getting the reference letter from, let them know about the award that you're applying to so that they have an idea what the criteria are, right? For your whole application, if you can tailor it to the criteria of the award, you have a much better chance of being recognized by the selection committee. So yeah, I think if you can focus on how you meet those requirements, all the better. And if it comes through in your reference letter from prof, that's even better.
Yeah, and I think reference letters can be a very scary thing, I think, but most professors are more than willing to do so. It's something that they're used to. It's something they probably had to do when they were a student, so they remember that kind of thing. So I think while it can sound a little intimidating, most of the time, if you have a professor that you have even somewhat of a relationship with, they'll be more than happy to do that. And I think you kind of answered another common question that we get there is can I kind of reuse a lot of material if I'm applying for multiple scholarships, which, by the way, we should say no limit to the number that you can apply to. Aside from the Community Contribution Awards, you can only apply to 3 of those. But otherwise, you can apply to as many as you want, so it's always good to spread the wealth and get yourself as many chances as you can. But we get people that ask a lot of times, can I use kind of the same written component? Can I use the same reference letters? And the short answer is yes, you can. But like you were saying, Leanne, like it's whatever makes your application the strongest, right? So if you have one kind of generic letter and you use it for 5 different things, it's not going to be quite as strong as if you tailored it. Which leads me to another question that we get a lot is, how are the winners selected? We can't go too far into the process, I know, but what exactly does that look like?
Yeah, there are selection committees of faculty and staff that are set up for the different awards, and based on faculty, and our award officer works with those selection committees to provide them with the the application packages and so forth, and it kind of goes from there.
Yeah, and another one that we get a lot is it possible to get help with a scholarship application? And you can definitely reach out to us in financial aid for clarifications or questions on requirements. You can email us or come by our office. But the Student Success Center also has a lot of great resources if you need help writing your, for lack of a better term, essay. There's the Writing Center here that can help. So that's another good option as you're preparing to apply for some of these scholarships. And otherwise, some common questions that we get, if I win, when do I get the money? That's a lot of people are curious about the money, for sure.
Yeah, so the application deadline, let's say for our in-course awards, is April 30th. And throughout the spring and summer terms is when the selection committees are meeting and we're making those selections. So the money does come, we let you know for the beginning of school, and then after the ad drop date in the fall, you would receive the money into your student account. So if you're all paid up, let's say you're VOSAP or you've made a payment on your own, the money would come to you through a direct deposit. And if you had an outstanding balance at that point, then you've got a little bit of help with your tuition as well.
Great. Great. And so we touched on it before, but I just really want to drive the point home. A lot of international students think that they can't apply. A lot of part-time students think that they can't apply, but there are definitely scholarships out there for you. International students in particular, you can apply to this. If you're an international engineering student, you can apply to basically the same scholarships that a domestic engineering student can apply to. So make sure you go through and see what's out there for you. But grad students, that's another question we get frequently. So everything we've been talking about really does only apply to undergrads, but where do graduate students go?
So scholarships for graduate students are administered through the School of Graduate Studies, and they do have a great website. So if you go to gs.mcmaster.ca and click on the awards and funding, it'll take you right to their page where they advertise all their different kinds of institutional and government awards and scholarships.
Great. I mean, I think we've covered a ton of ground here,
We've
Leanne.
done
Is there
great.
anything else that you think people should know? And again,
Yeah.
people can always ask us questions via email. We have an online chat on our website, sfas.mcmaster.ca. It's 11 to 1. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and on Wednesdays it's on in the evening, 4:30 to 6:30. But so we definitely open to more questions. But is there anything else that you think would be valuable to?
One other thing that we're doing to make it a bit easier this year is we will take the unofficial McMaster transcripts. So yes, you might be applying to more than one scholarship or award, but you can use the unofficial transcript, which is nice. It's a little bit.
And you can just get that in Mosaic, right?
Yeah,
Just,
you can go right into Mosaic and download that first. So.
All right, well, I think we're getting booted out of here. That's probably as good a sign as ever to cut it off there. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we hope that you get out there and apply for some scholarships.